I'm back continuing my reviews on the Jaws series with Jaws 3 in 3D. Now, when this one came out, it came out in 3D. Um, this one is probably one of the more hated ones. Definitely, I've probably seen this one less than any of the other ones. This one's got Dennis Quaid in it and Bess Armstrong. And it's also got that trying to think of the name of his character. He's been in a lot of movies. Yeah, you got Calvin Bouchard, and his name, I'm not sure what his real name is, but he plays Calvin Bouchard. He is Luis Gossett Jr. He's been in a lot of movies, especially during like the 80s. He's basically like the manager of this park that's being ran. It's basically it's like a Sea World that's being ran, and this guy runs it. And then you got Dennis Quaid as Mike Brody, who's supposed to be Chief Brody's older son in this one. And then you got Bess Armstrong as Dr. Catherine, who plays Dennis Quaid's love interest in this movie. Like I said, this one's not as good as the first two, but for sure. This one came out in 1983. Not sure. Joe Elves directed this. Now, Joe Elves did he was the production designer in the first Jaws movie. He basically oversaw the whole production design, kind of helped design the shark. He hired the guy to create the shark that did in the first one. Not sure what the guy's name is. I know it, but it's not coming to me right now. Yeah, I mean, basically this one takes place, I want to say a couple years later. It really doesn't say how long it's been since the events of the second one. They really don't mention the first two movies in this one. I know Mike Brody mentions his dad and brother in a quick second. Mentions them. Yeah, I mean, this one did pretty decent at the box office, but not great. Yeah, the effects in this movie are horrible. The 3D parts of the shark and stuff are just ridiculous. But you got to remember that this is in the 80s. I don't even think at this point. I'm not sure Friday the 13th Part 3 came out before this movie or not. I can't remember. But the 3D in that movie is a lot better than this one. Yeah, I mean, this has got, Mike Brody in it. He's like one of the head people at the theme park, and his girlfriend, Dr. Catherine, is she's like a marine biologist type. She kind of helps take care of the sharks, and they have no, they don't have any sharks in the park, but they end up capturing a baby great white that you think is responsible for this killing, because you got this guy that jumps in the lake or jumps in the ocean at this in the theme park, and they're trying to close the cage and all that, and he goes in there and he gets killed by a shark. And then when they capture this little great white, you think that's the one that killed him. We find out later that he's just a baby, and the mother comes looking for him. And they just made this shark like ridiculously big in this one. It looks ridiculous. The 3D shots in this were just horrible in my opinion. Really, I mean, altogether, it's not a great movie. It's really cheesy. Yeah, they run this theme park, they get this, they got like dolphins in there, and anything that you'd find at SeaWorld. which SeaWorlds are actually shutting down now all over the place, but or maybe they're not shutting down, but I heard something about them like either taking the orcas out of there, like the orca killer whales, or shutting some of them down, or something like that. You also got Leah Thompson in this movie playing a character named Kellyanne. And you might know Leah Thompson from the Back to the Future series. She plays Marty McFly's mother in that. And she's also been in some other stuff, which I can't really think of right offhand. You got some other characters in here. Nobody really that jumps off the screen to me. This movie just seems really bland and nothing special about it at all. There's really not much to talk about with this movie other than that it was made in 3D. You know, I think Joe Alves, I don't know. I've never seen him direct anything else. He probably has, but I know this movie is just not good. I know a lot of people consider Jaws the Revenge to be the sequel to this movie to be a lot worse. I would disagree with that. I don't know. I think that, well, I'll get into that when I talk about Jaws the Revenge. But, yeah, this one, there's really nothing to be said about it. I mean, you know, I'm sure people have seen it. But, you know, yeah, it all centers around the son of Chief Brody, and he works at this park, and, you know, you get this little shark that comes in, eats some people, you think. Big shark ends up showing up, smashing glass. People get trapped in underwater and stuff. I mean, yeah, there's really just nothing special about it at all. It's not a very good movie. I mean, if you are a fan of the Jaws series, I would check it out, but I can't really recommend it because it's just not that good. Yeah, really not much else to be said. I'm going to just kill it with that. And I'm going to continue my reviews with the last one in the series with Jaws the Revenge. All right, thanks.